Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome for another entry here for a film which hit Shudder not too long ago and had been on my to-watch list for quite a bit after I stumbled across a trailer for it, which is for The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster from 2023. This one's starring Leia DeLeon-Hayes and is written and directed by Bomani J. Story, which I believe this is his first feature. This is their first feature-length film. And the synopsis for this one is as follows. Vicaria is a brilliant teenager who believes death is a disease that can be cured. After the brutal murder of her brother, she embarks on a dangerous journey to bring him back to life. So, what we have here in essence is a tale inspired by previous ReAnimated stories such as Frankenstein and ReAnimator. But what really sets this one apart for me is, right from the start is that we get a much more somber and eerie kind of beginning as it's explained, her thoughts about death being this disease that can be cured. Given her surroundings, she's kind of growing up in this very rough neighborhood that's been plagued by, drugs and violence. Death is not uncommon to her. As she's, quite intelligent, she explores ways to kind of cure this disease as she sees death. Now, she's very smart, she's very compassionate, but also a tad full of herself if challenged, but especially if disrespected. She spends her time trying to bring her brother back to life, both to simply bring him back to life and have him in her life again, but also, to kind of cure him of death, but also for him to be able to enact vengeance on those who murdered him, as well as those who are kind of pushing drugs within that area, because they're starting to kind of claim the life of her father, who is now starting to relapse and started using again. But make no mistake, she is definitely a mad scientist in the making right from the start. Her heart's in the right place, but the morals may be off a little bit. We get to kind of see her go down this path, kind of slowly getting in over her head and have to deal with the situation of having now created this monster that's come to life and become unleashed. So I really enjoy how this film looks and the setting they've put us in. The violence within this neighborhood being almost as scary as anything about this monster itself, especially since it's reflecting a situation that many actually live within. They also, keep this monster in the shadows for much of the film, rather than having some grotesque reanimated corpse kind of in your face the entire time. Keeping him in the shadows really adds like this sense of mystery and suspense. And when he does kind of come out and confront somebody, that any kind of violence and gore to go along with it is much more shocking and creepy. The entire film definitely has an eerie feel, not just, in it being like this late night shadow play of, for this monster, but also of seeing our lead get in over her head as she leans into this mad scientist aspect a bit more. Add into that by the end it feels like maybe she hasn't really learned all the lessons and there may be some more problems around the corner. And you definitely have this eerie sense making you feel kind of uneasy throughout the entire film. Now, there is a huge leap that one needs to take for this one. The idea that this high schooler would be able to figure all this out and reanimate a corpse is highly far-fetched. But the way I saw it, Frankenstein was very far-fetched as well. Looking back at that story, you can see what we know now about modern medicine and such. So if you really need to just kind of go in, just accept that this is something that's science fiction. It's not believable, of course, but it's just a movie. And in this movie, this character was able to figure this out, run this experiment, and reanimate this body. So if you go in with that, it's definitely one that you can have a lot of fun with, especially if you're in for kind of like a creepy ride, this other kind of twist on the Frankenstein kind of story. It's definitely worth checking out. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this latest little video of mine, a very quick one for The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster in 2023, which at the time of this video is available on Shudder, as well as I believe AMC Plus and some paid rental services. So if you like ones like, stories like Frankenstein and ReAnimator, and you're up for something that's kind of taking it in a little bit of a different direction, putting it at a different time frame and setting, head on over and check that one out. Anyways, that's all I got for this quick little review here. Thanks for sticking around to the end, as it really does help out quite a bit, as is subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, all that kind of stuff. That's about all I got for this quick one. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.